Hey everybody, welcome back to Gut Guide. I'm your host, Rosanna Lincecum. So today we have Rebecca McCord with us. I've actually known Rebecca since I was born. She lives in northern Canada, where I was born, and she is a rancher, a gut health coach. She does a lot with the charities in the community and sings, and she's just a woman of many talents and a mom. So it's Mother's Day, by the way, so happy Mother's Day.
Hey.
And thank you for being with us today. So can you tell me a little bit about how you got started interested in gut health?
Yeah, thank you, Rosanna. Thanks for having me. This is so fun to be on with you, and I'll watch you as you unveil all your many talents. And I just love it. I've loved watching your journey. So thank you. I'm very honored to be on here with you tonight. What started me? We've been very blessed. Of course, we've lived on a farm basically my whole life. So we've eaten well. We grow our own vegetables and all that. So we have very, very good health. My sister did struggle with cancer, learned a lot more even with that, and did the alternative route. And then that's a whole different story. But a couple years ago, I had about 3 years ago, I was tired of my teenage daughter fighting allergies to the animals because we're in 4-H, so they're working around the animals. We do cattle shows every summer. And so then we just ended up having to kind of live on Claritin a lot. Anytime you're, got to feed the hay bales or do anything like that, then you just kind of pop a Claritin. And I realized in my journey, in my studies, that the residual effect of that settles out in the liver. I didn't like that. I was trying to figure out a way to get her off of that. So we've been to a naturopath about 3 years ago. Started going to a naturopath. Well, that was very expensive, and but you're a mom, you're willing to try to make anything work. So we did the allergy testings and all that, and then worked at a protocol, and then tried to cut out all the glutens and cut out all that, and just wasn't really cutting it. Spent a lot of money, and so I decided. I had some friends, my neighbors, tell me about Plexus, and I was like, no, I'm not going to try something like that. That's just all those companies think they're the best, and they've got me answered all of life's problems, so I would never do that. I'd always worked at home, always worked from home, and done a home business because we did live rurally, so I enjoyed the direct sales and the marketing and the parties with ladies and all that. So I was like, no, I would never do a supplement or look at gut health stuff. So anyways, after my journey with the naturopath and that not really being the answer for us, I decided to secretly tell him, okay, I will give this product a try, because apparently I'd started looking at it, and apparently it was amazing, and it was, got to the root of issues and all that. I'm like, okay, 60 days money back guarantee, we'll give it a try. Anyhow, so I jumped in, got a couple people to do it with me, because then I wanted to, be able to put my husband, who was suffering from adrenal fatigue, and so a couple other, issues like that. And then I wanted myself to be on it, and my other teenager boys. And I thought, well, I might as well see if I can do it with some friends, and I can afford it for my family. And so we got started my daughter first, and a couple months in, she told me, I wasn't expecting, we were just going to faithfully do it, give it a try. A couple months in, she said, so at the time she's 14, and she said, Mom, I hope you can always afford this, because I didn't realize I felt bad till I feel so good now. I was like, oh my gosh. And then as the cattle season, the cattle show season, 4-H achievement days and all that approached, we both realized we weren't really taking Claritin. So then the big test came. I have a friend in town that I stay with when I overnight, and she has 3 cats. So for me, I love staying with her, and she's just amazing. And but for me, I'd always need to build up my body. So I'd start in the morning, take a couple Claritin. If I knew I was going to spend the evening with her, or spend the night especially, take a couple Claritin in the morning, couple more in the afternoon, couple more in the evening. We're talking like I'd pretty much overdose to be able to just breathe and not be up all night. and then have my 2 Claritin on the nightstand ready to take the moment I woke in the morning with my glass of water so that I could keep the airways open and enjoy my visit. And I noticed that fall, the power went out in town. So I was taking an elderly neighbor to town, and we got stuck in town for a few hours with no power. So I drove up to her place, and I totally forgot about Claritin. Didn't have any with me, and I usually had it everywhere, every vehicle, every purse, everywhere. And didn't have any, but I totally forgot about it. And we sat there. I realized after 4 hours, I was totally fine. Like, oh my gosh. So then I spent my first night there a little while later, not a single Claritin. So it was really exciting. My daughter's milk allergies, all that seemed to clear up. She'd gotten out of the habit of drinking glasses of milk by then, but then she could eat the yogurt and cheese and not be worried, about the lactose or have the pills nearby or any of that stuff. So that was super exciting, and just overall, just feeling so much better. I loved it. I'd kind of been myself. I'd kind of been every decade. It just seemed just a little bit harder to keep the weight off. So I hit 30 and I was like, oh, I used to be kind of thin and oh well. But then 40 and I was like, oh my God, everything I tried, it still was creeping up there. And so I felt like when I started, that all halted. And it was so exciting. And then I could start working on the numbers coming down a little. So anyways, right away, for me, like a lot of people that I journey this with, the scale doesn't move a lot initially, but right away clothes fitting changed and other ways us women can tell that things are fitting better. And so that's been really exciting for me. I just know I'm probably the healthiest I've ever been, and it's been quite a journey. And then just being able to help so many others. I've got such exciting testimonies doing that. But
wow. Yeah. So your cat allergies, your allergies to hay, to animals, all kinds of just seasonal type allergies.
Yeah,
That was a problem for you and your daughter. And then it's just like, how long did it take before you kind of realized like, whoa, this isn't the same anymore?
Right. Yeah. It was by that first summer. So we started in April, and I started more May, June, because I let her start first, while we were just getting up to speed. But already by that first summer, those first couple months in, it was better. I was taking less Claritin, and by the next summer, nothing.
Wow,
Sure.
that is so cool. And it makes sense once you do some research on what allergies totally related to the immune system, which was totally related to gut health. So, like, that's so cool. And then as a coach, you said you have some other really exciting testimonies. So do you have one maybe you can tell us that would be exciting?
Sure. Yeah, and now researching, knowing what I know now, especially with allergies and stuff, I would have loved, like if I'd have had all of this information and this product before I even got pregnant, knowing what I know now about what happens in the microbiome and what we are changing internally, even in utero with the fetus, I wouldn't have passed on some of the allergies I passed on to my son, my daughter. My one son's totally fine, but it is so exciting when you realize everything that's connected with the microbiome in the gut and all of that, and actually changing the DNA potential. It's just so fascinating. But anyways, I've had lots of really exciting little testimonies along the way, people feeling better, all that. One rancher friend on steroids and just they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her right away. Her swelling started going down. The doctor started taking her off some of her meds. And by the next calving season, she's like, oh, last calving season I was on the couch. This one I'm actually out walking the pins and checking. And she was so excited because she thought she was just kind of done and just would be on the couch the rest of the time. But one was a mom, one friend I had met in one of my other businesses. And she had for 3 years suffered such autoimmune issues. So I got her to, she's not really a computer person, but I got her to type up her testimony. It was so exciting because she had started feeling worse and worse. 3 little children, they were probably preteens by the time 2 years ago when she started, a year and a half ago when she started. And she was from the background where gardening was everything, cooking. I mean, she just fantastic mom. But for 3 years, she hadn't touched her garden. She'd look out at it and nothing in her even wanted to go out there. She just functioned, just cooked her meal so that her kids would survive, got them to the bus. And so this was very unusual because she'd been so social, so active, really active in her church and loved to be a part, have people over. They lived rurally, so it was always fun to entertain. And she was so sick. She was on a handful of pills every day, and her husband was getting ready to cash in a bunch of savings and take her to Mexico to a clinic and just see what can we do, because all of these pills are not working. She's still barely able to get off the couch. And then what was so interesting, of course, now studying more and more, is the brain-gut connection. So, of course, as she spiraled, health-wise, then, of course, that means your anxiety, the depression just builds as those signals are totally screwed up. And so she had just, I mean, she was even struggling with thoughts like, oh, my family's probably better without me. I mean, which of us really think we're ever going to go there, right, in our thoughts? But more common than we realize when somebody is so wrought with autoimmune issues that they can barely get off the couch, and think, this isn't fun for my family. Like, so that was starting to scare her. And so her husband saw a flyer I had left up at one of the water dispensary places, and he goes, oh, I knows her. And so he took a picture of it and took it home and said, honey, you should get in touch with Rebecca. You remember her? So she did, and I got her a triplex right away that next day. And 3 days later, she said, my husband says to call you and tell you thank you for us finding you, because within 3 days she already had more energy. Within I think it was 2 months, I'm trying to remember, she said she started looking out her window and thinking about her greenhouse, and she hadn't done that in years. So she was so excited, working with her doctor, going off of her medications, and she started going to church again with her family, and now we try to connect. She's so busy. She's driving bus, and she's always got people coming over, and oh my goodness. So it's very hard now to even get together because she is so busy. I said, well, good thing you journaled all of what you struggled with before, because now you would never know. I said, just think of all the money you saved. Now save that money that you're going to use at a clinic in Mexico at $10,000 a week, yeah, and go for a vacation when you're feeling good. So it's way more fun to go to Mexico on vacation than to a clinic, although the clinics are very nice. But yeah. Anyway, so that's very exciting. Just a lot of moms with finally get some energy. I love it. I had a nurse that just only took the ProBio 5 and BioCleanse. Yeah, she took both of those. And her husband had gout for a year, just like a flare up a week. I mean, it was getting so bad. They started just on that, not even the pain drink. And her arthritis, she was about 70, her arthritis went away in her hands, and his gout went away. Wow. So that was really exciting. And it's been really, really fun. So lots of
there are so many stories and testimonies of people just really, when you make your gut health, who've made their gut health a priority, and it's not even, the cool part is that we've had this pill for a long time and called an antibiotic, right? Which is killing our bacteria, including our good bacteria. And we've had all these things that negatively affect our microbiome. Mm-hmm. And so it's so cool to have some supplements that can help to balance that out and reverse that. And it can be actually for most people. I mean, not that it's like some magic pill overnight, but it can, make it so much faster and easier than doing, like you said, like starving that candida out for 2 years and never eating any carbs or sugar for that entire time, right? Or what was so cool?
Exponential in the healing process.
Yeah, it's just speeding that up because we're getting things back balanced. So Yeah, I experienced a pretty quick turnaround. I felt worse before I felt better, but not
Yeah.
for a long time. And I knew that I was detoxing and my body was balancing itself out. And then it was the same thing for me. I mean, energy, like better brain function, not so
Yeah.
foggy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
even be doing this summit if if it had not been for Plexus. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to sell something, and I know you're not, but when you see friends and family and people, I mean, my dad, he's a foreman of a construction company, or for a construction company, and he said he used to have trouble like remembering everyone's name and writing stuff on their time card and their employee number and all this stuff. He said now he can remember every single person's number. I mean, he lost 10 pounds. His blood pressure went down, down.
Yeah.
I mean, just this stuff, it's crazy. It seems like this is too good to be true. And I've never been a big supplement person myself
Right.
because I'm like, it's just going to go through me and I'm going to see it in my pee later, But this, when you feel the difference,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's hard to deny, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fun too, talking about men. I mean, all my home businesses have always been very women oriented. So to be in a company with so many wonderful men that absolutely fall in love with the product. And, my husband was really skeptical at first, but even now, if we run out of pink drink, he's like, where's the drink? He faithfully takes it every night, but I can tell he can really tell a difference on that. And I've got a lot of men that just, I think they almost see quicker results than us women. It's not fair.
Yeah. I have a friend, I love that too. That's a great point. Everyone with a gut needs, can benefit from this.
Yeah, so true.
I have a friend whose mom takes the products for heartburn, and she used to stack pillows in her bed to keep her, up at night so she didn't like have that acid reflux. And she won't. I order it for her, but she won't run out now because it helps her with that, and also the same kind of situation as it's coming out, any of that discomfort. So she feels way better, but it's so cool to be able to help people to feel better.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's so rewarding because when people have more energy, exactly, they can get back to their life.
Yeah. Yeah. And that acid reflux is so serious because if you research that little pill at all, that little purple pill that they give you, it is so dangerous. And actually what they think that they're doing, getting rid of the acid, your body, the mycotoxins from that candida fungus is dying off. It's just fascinating how that's generally the cause of all of that acid reflux. And you shouldn't be stomping down your acid. And it's amazing. And then, yeah, anyways, that's a whole study.
Yeah, they have commercials even, right, that say like if you've taken Prilosec for longer than you should, you could have kidney damage, and it's very real. I actually did take that one time, and it was before, and my mom said that too. She's like, it could be low stomach acid. You should try, apple cider vinegar or something instead. And thankfully I was able to get off that. But yeah, I mean, some of these things that we're taking are really, have a lot of side effects, and getting to the root of the problem naturally, amazing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So can you talk specifically about just your favorite products, maybe real quick? Some of it may be a little bit of review, but just like a bullet point.
Yeah. I love that the company keeps it simple, very gut health focused. And so all of the products to your vitamins, of course, I love the Mega X, and that it's plant-based and not fish-based. So you're actually circumventing a couple steps your body has to go through in breaking down a fish product to be absorbed by your cells. But to me, I still think, especially with what I deal with, because I'm not I love the weight loss aspect of it, but to me that's such a secondary issue in people's lives. I like that. I love this product in that the people I deal with, you can't just say, you know what, you need to eat your carrots every day and you should get a gym membership, because cognitively they're not even there yet. How do you tell somebody to get off the couch when they can barely even finish their day at work, get home to the couch because there's just nothing left. The brain fog, everything is just compounded in their life. So then to just come over and say, okay, let's eat healthy and I'll help you eat healthy and exercise every day, it just doesn't cut it. So then you give them this tool and suddenly all of that starts to change. And I love it. I've got people that come back and say, oh my gosh, my husband and I took a walk around the block. I haven't felt like doing that in 2 years. So I love all that. And to me, besides the pink drink, which is so awesome, and the inflammation, all that deals with. But to me, the thing that sets us apart is that ProBio 5, because you are dealing with that Candida fungus. And I really started researching that, and that, I mean, you could do hours of talks just on that Candida fungus and all of the trickle down effects it has in our body systemically. And it's just been a fascinating study. So I would say, for me, and the people I'd really so love to help, just those that seem to be at their wits' end and they've tried everything, and last thing they want is a supplement. And is that ProBio 5, because it's got the enzyme formulation in it that actually can start to break down that shell of the Candida fungus. But you're right, the important thing is that starts to break down the toxins that are released. Like that fungus cell alone is what releases like 80 mycotoxins and can affect everything from digestion to neurological issues. It's just fascinating what's all encompassed in just that Candida fungus cell. So I guess I would have to say ProBio 5 is my favorite.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on that. But what's funny is if you take a couple at once, you never really know what's doing what, you know? So it's kind of like, ooh. Mm-hmm. So I started with the triplex. So I was taking the prebiotic Slim. It was when they first came out with that, which helps to balance your blood sugar. And I love that and I felt like it definitely gave me energy. Like sustainable, not that like slump in the afternoon type of nice, steady, non-caffeinated energy. And then, but the ProBio 5, the fact that it really got on top of my Candida because I wasn't craving sugar anymore. Right. So it's like a shortcut to sugar cravings and also yeast infections, all kinds of things. So, but the bio cleanse is super important too.
It is. I know it's hard to pick one.
Yeah, I always thought like this one's not that important. It only has 3 ingredients. How great could it be? But really, when I was going through my detox symptoms, it wasn't until I increased that and everything kind of got out of my system that I really felt better. So I really feel like the ProBio 5 Bio Cleanse combo is super important because it can shorten your detox process so you're feeling better faster. And that's kind of like what I recommend too for people to start with. And there are so many great products if you want to branch out, and for sure multivitamin and the omega oils, and the other probiotic that deals with mood issues. My mom's like, I got my joy back. I feel so much, better. And I'm like, sweet, So
And the block. Hey, at Christmas time, I decided I was just going to cheat, Anyways, so I just took the block before every meal, like every big meal, or if I was going to eat dessert or whatever. Oh my gosh, I didn't gain a pound. Nice. And I really cheated. Because I've been trying to cut back on, I feel so much better, right? I used to, a Diet Coke or whatever used to be my treat when I go to town a couple times a week or whatever. And now I walk by the same drink cooler and I'm like, nope, there's not even anything there that I want to get one at all. So that's not sheer willpower. So, anyways, I love that. That was my new discovery at Christmas time with the block. So now I take it everywhere in case I'm gonna.
Nice. That is so awesome. Yeah, Plexus really does have great products. But so definitely, if I guess I would just like to say this before we go, and thank you so much for being with us and talking about
You're welcome.
Because I'm passionate about it and I love talking to other people who help a lot of people, and it's exciting. So
very exciting.
But the other thing is, if you know someone who already is taking this product, how it works is you can just go to plexusworldwide.com and sign up, but put their number in, their phone number, so that so a friend of yours can get commission, because that's how it works. You could just order it online. You don't have to go through someone, but if you have friends, right? I mean, I love that you can, the money that instead of going to Walmart or Super Supplements or some vitamin store, it's actually going straight to your friend's, bank account. So that's kind of a cool thing about it, right?
And it's really important to have a buddy to journey it with, because I've got somebody right now that's in some major detox. They were even diagnosed with candida overgrowth. So it can be quite discouraging initially. And so sometimes then the friend you walk alongside with will say, you know what, we'll combine a ProBio 5 with a BioCleanse for a week at night, so that the die-off isn't quite so severe if you're struggling with some major health issues. There's just lots of customization to the products. That's why I think the wisdom, it's brilliant that they went ahead and decided to share the product through people, through ambassadors, because as you get passionate about it, you start to learn more about it. Then you can help others along the way, because it's very different for each person. It's not something you could just go to the shelf and I'm just going to grab that bottle and try it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, what does that do to me? So for it to be so super successful in your life, it's very good to have a wonderful team to bounce ideas off of. Say, hey, have you run into this before? Or we can all encourage each other. And like Rosanna said, it's a blessing especially for us moms that really need to work at home. So I can't really drive to town every day and hold down a job, but I can help out my family. And so it's been a huge blessing on that end too, and it's so true.
Yeah, that's a great point that you said about just dosing and times of day and different things. If you have someone who's already been through that path, that's what's cool is we can, like, I can call you or Danny and Sue and be like, okay, what can I do to make this detox end faster? Which is exactly what I said to Danny, and he said, oh, take another ProBio 5, and it was like, oh, boom, that was what I needed, And so really great to have people that you can look up to and ask questions to, and we'll go through that detox process with you and help you look up symptoms and see what's going on. And this is a very safe product. I have friends who've taken it while nursing, while pregnant, and under their doctors recommend, like their doctors like, yes, this is safe, so it's not like some thing that's scary, but when a product works and it actually starts affecting you, it can be kind of freaky, because you're like, whoa, something's happening here, And for me, the detox symptoms weren't that intense. It was a little bit of brain fog, a little bit of fatigue, but a little bit of like mild headache, but I knew what it was, and that was helpful. So getting with your, great point. So hopefully
I tell people if they want to build their faith, or they're just kind of a little skeptical or whatever, if you go into YouTube and you type Plexus changed my life, you can sit for hours. And the symptoms and all the diseases aren't necessarily listed in the comments or in the description section, because they have to be real careful about compliance and all that. But as I'm listening along, sometimes I'll just play it and put it on autoplay as I'm doing my work. I'm always multitasking. Anyways, I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's an amazing one. Just the most, trying to think of, cystic acne. Just to everything. It's just so exciting. But, so that's always something easy to do. And
YouTube and Facebook too, like Plexus and a symptom, and you can see testimonials. And if they're going to give us a pill to kill our bacteria, I'm just thankful that they have one to help repopulate and help our candida fungus situation. And hopefully we have been this has been interesting for everyone, and thank you so much, Rebecca, and I really appreciate you talking to us about Plexus today.
You're so welcome. My privilege. My honor. Thank you, Rosanna.